At the heart of the Andarion galaxy, an ancient tradition determines the fate of entire civilizations, the Games of Eternity. Every stellar cycle, 20 competitors from different solar systems are selected to participate in this deadly competition. The prize? Dominion over vast galactic territories, infinite wealth, and the promise of ascension to the Star Council. But the cost is high, only one survives. Sofia Hams, a young woman born in a forgotten mining colony on the outskirts of the Orion system, is unexpectedly selected. She has always been different. Her bright blue eyes are a rarity among her people, but what truly sets her apart is the mysterious gift she hides. Sofia can manipulate stellar energy, channeling the power of the stars to create shields, weapons, and even distort space around her. Additionally, fragmented visions of possible futures invade her mind in moments of crisis. When the announcement of the games reaches Orion, Sofia is forcibly taken aboard the Star Coalition's ship. There, she discovers that she is not the only one with special abilities. Each competitor has been chosen for possessing an evolutionary or technological advantage. But what truly terrifies Sofia is the constant feeling that someone is manipulating the game from behind the scenes. Determined to survive, Sofia vows to uncover the truth about the Games of Eternity, and about her own power. She will soon realize that the true enemies are not just inside the arena. Since childhood, Sofia had felt that something within her was awakened. On Orion's silent nights, she would often lose herself staring at the starry sky, feeling an inexplicable connection to the cosmos. When her parents died in a mining accident, Sofia was raised by a close-knit community, but she always felt that she never truly belonged. The first manifestation of her power happened when she was 8 years old. A group of mercenaries attacked the colony to steal energy crystals. Terrified, Sofia watched as her best friend, Lisa, was threatened. Then the stars seemed to respond to her call. Sparks of golden light formed around her, and in an instant, a wave of incandescent energy exploded, knocking down the attackers. From that moment on, Sofia tried to control her gifts in secret. She trained alone, away from the eyes of the other colonists, molding small spheres of light between her fingers. But the power seemed to have a will of its own, manifesting only in moments of extreme danger or emotion. During the first test for the games, Sofia realizes that her gift is different from the other competitors. Some have biomechanical implants, others possess advanced genetic training, but Sofia's power comes from something older, something cosmic. And that makes her a threat. Soon, Sofia discovers that her gift is not just an ability, it is a key. And the stars she manipulates seem to be trying to tell her something. The arena of the Games of Eternity is an artificial world created by the Stellar Architects, an ancient alien race that went extinct millennia ago. The environment constantly shifts. Scorching deserts can transform into toxic forests within minutes, and gravitational storms can collapse from the sky without warning. The competitors are just as lethal as the terrain. There is Kale Draven, a biomechanical warrior capable of manipulating matter at a molecular level. Lyra Valen, an assassin trained in zero gravity who uses force fields to crush her enemies. And Terran Velker, a human-alien hybrid with advanced psychic abilities. Sofia quickly realizes that temporary alliances are the only way to survive. She teams up with Ethan Voss, a fearless pilot with a neural exoskeleton that makes him nearly indestructible, and Nova Cade, a hacker who can manipulate the arena system to create strategic advantages. But even among allies, Sofia knows that only one can win. And when her premonition reveals that one of the competitors will betray her, she must decide whom to trust, and what she is willing to sacrifice. As Sofia fights to survive in the arena, she begins to notice hidden patterns in the challenges and traps. Every environmental shift, every coordinated attack from the competitors, seems to follow a precise logic, as if someone is testing their reactions. During a mission to steal supplies from an outpost in the arena, Sofia and Ethan discover a hidden control panel with strange symbols etched into its core. Nova, using her hacking skills, manages to translate part of the symbols and uncovers that they are fragments of a stellar code. This code is directly linked to the Stellar Architects. Sofia begins to experience intense visions, flashes of hooded figures watching the games from a dark chamber, ancient symbols burning in the sky, and a voice whispering, "The balance must be restored." The architects did not vanish, they went into hiding. And the Games of Eternity are not a competition, but an ancient ritual. The competitors are being shaped into something more. Sofia realizes that her powers, and those of the other contestants, are the result of genetic manipulations that began millennia ago. Now, Sofia must uncover the true purpose of the games, before the architects complete their final work. Sofia and her group manage to infiltrate an underground base beneath the arena, where they find a vast data chamber. There, they access forbidden records that reveal the shocking truth about the games of eternity. The stellar architects created the games to accelerate human evolution. They believe natural evolution is too slow and that only extreme conflict can hasten the rise of a new race. The competitors are not just warriors, they are candidates for godhood. Sofia's powers stem from a direct connection to the primordial energy of the stars, a force the architects believe is the key to creating a new galactic order. But Sofia discovers that the final ritual of the games involves a sacrifice. Only the winner will survive, and their body will be used as a vessel for an ancient entity bound to the stars. So, what do you think Sofia will do next? Will she accept her fate or fight to change it? Share your thoughts in the comments. Sofia faces an impossible choice. The visions she has had since childhood now make sense. The architects have been shaping her destiny from the very beginning. The stellar energy she wields is a crucial piece of the final ritual, and the architects believe she is the only one capable of surviving the fusion with the celestial entity. Ethan and Nova try to convince her to run, but Sofia knows there is no escape. The architects created the games to lure someone like her, a living connection to the stars. Fleeing would mean condemning all the other competitors to extinction and allowing the architects to restart the cycle with a new generation. During a brutal confrontation with Kale Draven and Lyra Valen, Sofia unleashes a wave of stellar energy that destroys part of the arena, creating an opening to reach the central core. But activating this energy awakens something dark. The celestial entity itself begins to manifest. The arena starts to distort, and Sofia feels her mind being pulled into another dimension. As the entity attempts to merge with her, Sofia hears the voices of the architects.
You were made for this. Accept your destiny.
But Sofia refuses to be a tool of the architects. She senses that the power can be controlled, shaped by her own will, not the desires of another force. She must decide quickly, absorb the entity and risk losing her own identity or destroy it and set all the competitors free. As Sofia struggles to understand the vast power of the stellar entity awakened within her, the weight of responsibility begins to make sense. Every second, she feels the pulse of cosmic energy within her essence, yet she still does not know how to fully channel it. But the revelation Nova brings is like an unexpected blow. What seemed like a loyal ally turns out to be a traitor, manipulated by the architects from the very beginning. Nova, her gaze now cold and distant, reveals that her loyalty was never to Sofia, but to the architects, whose secret mission was to ensure the ritual's completion, at any cost. The face that once radiated camaraderie now becomes a mask of pure determination. Nova activates a gravitational containment device, emitting a force wave that traps Sofia inside an indestructible energy field. The stellar energy that once flowed freely through Sofia's body begins to be drained, like a storm absorbing everything around it, siphoning away every trace of the cosmic power she had gained. Sofia feels her very essence being stripped away, as if her own existence is being erased. In desperation, Ethan tries to intervene. He rushes toward Nova, intent on disarming her and saving Sofia, but Nova is faster. Her connection to the architects runs deeper than Sofia ever imagined, and she uses an advanced neural system implanted within her body to manipulate technology to her advantage. Within seconds, Ethan is disarmed and thrown to the ground, unable to move. With a triumphant smile, Nova says, "You are not worthy of this power. The architects chose me." At that moment, Sofia feels a wave of helplessness, but the connection to the stellar entity is not entirely lost. Suddenly, something changes. The energy inside her reacts independently, as if it has a will of its own. The entity, sensing the threat that Nova represents, begins to rebel. The gravitational force that Nova controls starts to reverse, overloading the cybernetic systems implanted in her body. With a scream, Nova is hurled across the arena, collapsing, weak and unconscious. Now free, Sofia realizes that stellar power cannot be controlled by force, only by will. The balance between the cosmos and the human mind becomes clear. With energy once again flowing through her body, she prepares to stop the architects from completing the ritual that could change the fate of the galaxy forever. Disturbed by Sofia's unexpected rebellion, the stellar architects begin taking desperate measures. The arena, once a mere battleground, starts to fracture. The walls disintegrate, revealing a massive hidden mechanism beneath, a colossal structure that sustains the entire gravitational manipulation system. This device has the power to collapse the entire star system, dragging neighboring planets into destruction if the ritual is not completed in time. Sofia, Ethan, Kale, Lyra, and the few remaining competitors join forces, facing not only the Architect's forces but also the arena's automated defenses. Now more in control of her stellar energy, Sofia channels her power to stabilize the core of the gravitational device, trying to prevent its self-destruction and the resulting catastrophe. Meanwhile, Ethan and Kale battle the defense machines with everything they have, while Lyra works desperately to reverse the structural collapse. At the peak of the chaos, Nova returns, her body scarred from battle, but her eyes still burning with the determination to complete the ritual. She activates the final protocol, and the stellar entity begins to fully materialize before them, a massive being of stellar light and cosmic shadows, threatening to consume everything in its path. Sofia then realizes that the only way to stop complete destruction is to merge with the stellar entity in a way no one expected. She knows this would mean losing herself entirely, but at the same time she feels she has the power to shape her own fate. Looking at Ethan, who pleads with her not to go through with it, Sofia responds with a newfound certainty, "I won't become what they want. I will forge my own destiny." With those words, Sofia throws herself into the center of the stellar light, where everything erupts in a brilliant white explosion. When Sofia awakens, she is no longer in the arena. Instead, she finds herself in a vast cosmic void, an ocean of stars and darkness stretching endlessly. Around her, space pulses with an incomprehensible energy, and before her, the stellar entity takes shape. But it is not the form Sofia expected. The entity transforms into a distorted version of Sofia, its eyes glowing like distant galaxies. It speaks, and its voice echoes with the resonance of all the stars.
You don't have to be a weapon. You can be a creator.
In that moment, Sofia understands that the power she possesses is not a curse, but an opportunity. The power of the stars doesn't have to be used for destruction or control. It can be used to create, to shape the future of the galaxy in a way no architect had ever imagined. The entity offers Sofia complete control over the stellar cycle, the power to decide the fate of planets, stars, and entire systems. Sofia, now seeing the truth, reaches out and dissolves the entity into a beam of pure light. The cycle of the games is broken. The architects have lost their control, and the galaxy is finally free from their manipulation. When she wakes again, Sofia finds herself in the ruins of the arena, with Ethan and Kale by her side. The other surviving competitors are also free. The cycle has been shattered. Sofia now carries the power of the stars, but on her own terms. She decides she will not use her power to rule, but to protect the innocent and ensure that freedom is preserved. Above them, a new constellation appears, shining bright and clear. It is the symbol of Sofia Hams, the new guardian of the stars. With the fall of the Eternal Games, the universe would never be the same. The wars, manipulations, and conspiracies that the architects had fueled for millennia had come to an end. Sofia Hams, a woman who had once been just another competitor in a game of death, had now become a living legend. She had not only survived the games but had also defeated the cosmic force that sought to control the entire galaxy. More than that, she had proven that the power of the stars could be wielded without being consumed by it, a revelation no one had thought possible. News of her victory spread across galaxies like a flame illuminating the darkness of oppression. Through the eyes of millions, Sofia became a symbol of resistance, courage, and rebirth. Her journey was far from over, and now she carried the burden and responsibility of restoring balance to the cosmos. Alongside Ethan, her steadfast ally and unshakable friend, Sofia traveled to planets devastated by war and the tyranny of the architects. In each world they visited, she used her newfound connection to the stars to heal the wounds left by centuries of control. On one mission, in a world where populations were on the brink of extinction due to the architects' military control, Sofia used her stellar energy to restore the devastated lands, bringing life back to the barren forests and lifeless seas. With her help, those who had been oppressed began to rebuild, finding strength in their renewed hope. Meanwhile, Kale and Lyra, survivors of the games, now transformed by their fight for freedom, took on leadership roles in the growing rebel movement. Together they worked tirelessly to rebuild the shattered star systems, ensuring that the architects could never regain their power. Kale, with his strategic mind, and Lyra, with her fierce determination, formed a formidable alliance. They traveled from planet to planet, organizing resistance against any force that sought to divide the galaxy, promoting peace and liberation. The unity between Sofia, Ethan, Kale, and Lyra became a beacon of a new era, one where oppression had no place and freedom was a right for all. Yet, despite the end of the Eternal Games and the fall of most of the architects, Sofia knew the war was not over. The architects were more powerful and elusive than she had imagined, and though they had retreated into the shadows, their ambitions had not been extinguished. They were far from permanently defeated. Deep in her soul, Sofia felt that somewhere the dark forces were preparing for a new strike, a new move that could threaten everything she had fought for. But this time Sofia was ready. She knew that by becoming one with the stars, she had transcended what was possible for any mortal. Her power now exceeded the limits of comprehension. She had found balance, and that made her stronger than any threat that might arise. The architects could hide, but Sofia did not fear them. She knew that true strength was not in the power to control, but in the unbreakable will to protect those she loved. As Sofia and Ethan stood aboard their ship, traveling to new worlds, a transmission was sent across the entire galaxy. A simple message, yet one filled with an indescribable power that would echo for millennia.
We are not tools. We are not weapons. We are the stars.
The galaxy, once shrouded in darkness, now found itself bathed in the light of freedom and hope. Sofia's message spread like a beacon, reaching even the most distant hearts, reminding everyone that true power does not belong to those who control, but to those who choose to act with justice and compassion. Sofia's journey was far from over. She knew that many challenges lay ahead and that the fate of the galaxy would depend on how she and her allies wielded the power they now possessed. But one thing was certain, she would not face the future alone. With Ethan by her side and a galaxy united in freedom, Sofia Hams would become an eternal name, a symbol that, in the end, it is the light of the stars that guides the way to a new beginning. And as Sofia's ship soared into the vast unknown, the galaxy watched in silence, waiting to see what the future would bring, knowing that wherever she went, Sofia's star would shine forever. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more epic adventures across the universe. Your support helps us bring more stories like this, because the stars still have much to reveal.